New BRICS currency and increasing Western sanctions is a global reset in progress. Listen to the full version on the official dinarreport.com website and become our supporter on Patreon. New BRICS currency and increasing Western sanctions is a global reset in progress. Awake in 3D October 18, 2024. With sanctions accelerating de-dollarization, BRICS nations are leading efforts to restructure the global financial order. As the global financial landscape continues to transition, the new BRICS currency initiative emerges as a formidable challenge to the US dollar's dominance. In response to geopolitical tensions and sanctions, nations are seeking alternatives to dollar-based trade, with BRICS countries leading the charge toward a new gold-backed financial system. With gold prices surging past $2,700 per ounce, this transformation could realign the global economy and spark the long-discussed global currency reset, GCR. The question now is whether the upcoming BRICS summit will mark the dawn of a new era in international finance, reshaping the balance of power from west to east. Sanctions, de-dollarization, and the birth of alternative financial systems. Western sanctions against Russia, following its 2022 conflict in Ukraine, triggered a series of unintended consequences, forcing targeted countries to explore financial alternatives beyond the US-dominated system. These sanctions effectively cut Russia off from global markets tied to the dollar-based SWIFT network, compelling it to strengthen economic partnerships with China, India, and other BRICS nations. In response, Russia has begun settling transactions in Chinese yuan and other local currencies, adding further momentum to de-dollarization efforts. The consequences of these developments go beyond the BRICS members. Other nations, particularly those wary of Western influence, have taken notice. The US dollar's use as a geopolitical tool has raised concerns about economic sovereignty, fueling interest in establishing a new global reserve currency. This evolving landscape hints at a recalibration of the global economy, a key hallmark of the GCR, where the structure of international finance is realigned to reflect the interests of more players than just the West. The new BRICS currency, a challenge to dollar dominance? Rumors of a new BRICS currency, reportedly 40% backed by gold and 60% by a basket of member state reserves, have attracted significant global interest ahead of the BRICS summit in Kazan, Russia, on October 22–24. Although experts predict that a formal unveiling is unlikely at this meeting, the discussions alone indicate that the world is moving toward a future where the US dollar will no longer reign supreme. This shift aligns closely with the global currency reset, GCR, a process that seeks to restructure the global monetary system and diversify away from a single currency's dominance. In recent years, central banks worldwide have increased their gold reserves, viewing the precious metal as a hedge against inflation and geopolitical instability. With gold prices now hovering around $2,700 per ounce, many believe that asset-backed currencies will play a key role in the future financial system, an idea long associated with the GCR movement. A new BRICS currency could set off a chain reaction of currency revaluations, RV, across the globe. If the proposed currency is anchored by tangible assets like gold, it compels other countries, including those in the West, to revalue their own currencies to remain competitive in global trade. Such a move would mark the most significant shift in international monetary policy since the collapse of the Bretton Woods system in the 1970s. The US dollar's waning influence. While the US dollar still accounts for 84% of global trade transactions, its dominance is eroding due to several factors, including the rise of the Chinese yuan. China has successfully positioned its currency as an alternative to the dollar, particularly in oil markets, through initiatives like the petro-yuan. As energy trade, a key pillar of the dollar's dominance, diversifies, BRICS countries have an opportunity to reduce their reliance on the dollar even further. Notably, Saudi Arabia has expressed interest in settling oil transactions in yuan, marking a potential end to the petrodollar era. If the BRICS currency materializes, it will likely prompt other countries to recalibrate their financial policies and accelerate the shift toward a multipolar financial system, as envisioned in the GCR. Geopolitical implications of the GCR and RV. A successful launch of a BRICS currency will likely prompt other countries to recalibrate their currency policies. With gold serving as the backbone for the new financial system, currencies across the globe must undergo revaluation, RV, to maintain credibility and parity in international trade. This process would mark a historic shift in monetary policy, requiring nations to shift their focus from debt-backed fiat currencies to tangible, asset-backed reserves. India, an influential BRICS member, faces a critical decision point. While it remains committed to deep economic ties with the US, it also recognizes the benefits of participating in the GCR movement and supporting a new global reserve currency. India's balancing act reflects the complexities involved in a new world order where economic and geopolitical interests are often in conflict. The bottom line: the new BRICS currency is a path toward a new global financial order. The rise of a BRICS currency combined with growing geopolitical tensions, sanctions, and the search for financial alternatives suggests that the world is approaching a global currency reset. The potential decline of the US dollar's dominance signals not only a change in how global trade is conducted but also a shift toward revaluation of currencies based on tangible assets. While the future trajectory remains uncertain, one thing is clear: the financial system of tomorrow will not look like the system of today. The upcoming BRICS summit is unlikely to deliver the final blueprint for a new global currency, but it will certainly push forward the conversation about how the world's economic future will be shaped. With precious metals playing a key role in this transition, the competition for currency dominance is just beginning, ushering in an era where gold, not fiat, will likely decide the balance of power. Listen to the full version on the official dinarreport.com website and become our supporter on Patreon. Source: Dinar Recaps.